I think it's getting worse and worse because the cost of houses, the price is getting higher and higher. People are getting 麻木了, numb.
They're getting numb.
They're getting numb
to
They're
it.
getting numb. They will say, oh, the price went up. Okay. We are stop fighting for it.
You're listening to the Connected podcast coming to you from the heart of Taipei, where we get personal on news and issues that connect us in Taiwan and around the world. I'm Izzy Wells.
And I'm Phoebe Zheng.
And today we're going to be continuing our conversation about the cost of living. Just how affordable is it to live in Taiwan, and how does it compare to a decade or so ago? And how does it compare to where I'm from, London? Can young people still afford to be able to buy a home? Or is that just something that we should give up on?
And joining us in the studio today is Nien-Zu.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Unlike many other Taiwanese people, he now has a house, he has 2 kids, and today we have him with us to talk about the cost of living in Taipei.
I think the struggling is the more accurate word.
So you both grew up in Taiwan, in Taipei.
Yeah.
And I grew up in London, both cities that are getting more and more expensive.
That's right.
How can you feel that cost, that increase in cost? How does it compare to a decade or so ago?
I think the increasement of the cost of living is very obvious. For instance, my lunchbox, there's a store just next to where I was living. And I started to have a lunchbox for $75. And it
That's
become
pretty good.
pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And it become $80, 85, 90. No. Now it's 110. I can feel the shop owner feel a little bit sorry for like old customers, but yeah, I will understand everything goes up. Yeah.
What about for you, Phoebe?
Yeah, now it makes me think of my favorite snacks. It's called Yimei Puff. I believe it used to be like $26, 26 NTD, and now it's like 34.
In the UK, we have this chocolate bar. It's called a Freddo, and it's like a frog. It's like about this size. Yeah, but it's really good. But people love to use it as like a measure of how expensive things have got. So in 2000 it was 10p, and in 2025 it's 30p. And I saw recently on the news like there was an MP who was trying to like get Freddo back down to the price of 10p, which I support.
Maybe the frog will get smaller and smaller. Why if the price remain the same?
But so we've had a little bit about our perspectives of the costs of stuff here, but we actually went to Binjiang Market in Taipei to get some other perspectives. So let's have a listen.
你要像年轻人其实去买房，没有家里的帮助，年轻人自己靠自己存钱买房，其实不太可能，连头期款可能都拿不出来。而且现在物价这么高，年轻人薪水也没有涨，就有点入不敷出吧，就变你赚多少就要花多少。我觉得就不如就该吃吃该花花，不用想着去存那些钱，就能开心的生活就好。
如果以现在他们的薪水4万多块来是不容易嘛，可是住家里应该可以存到一点，可是他们就觉得很放纵自己啊，就觉得很失望啊，我不知道。
Yeah, so after hearing this bite, Nien-Zu, we heard 2 voices in this bite.
They are not happy.
They're not happy, right? So one actually complains about, the younger generation don't try enough to save up. But the younger generation's voice, the person who we interviewed, said it's almost impossible to really get a house, get a property of your own without family's help. What do you think?
I think first of all, I want to speak. About the second lady first.
Yeah,
because she's complaining about the younger generation.
Yeah.
I think that's the main reason. I don't blame the younger generation. I mean, if you can see the light of the end of a tunnel, you will walk towards it unhesitantly. That's the generation gap between the 30 years ago and right now. That younger generation doesn't see the end.
Yeah, I think it's a thing about hope. Right.
That's
right. I think like if you have the hope, so she was saying like, you know, people can say you can live at home and you can save up and whatever and don't be so indulgent or they're too indulgent. But if you have no hope at the end of it, then what's the point?
And did you say you have something to echo to with the other voice who said it's almost impossible to really get a house without family's help?
That's right. That's impossible. I think it's impossible. If you want, especially in some area like Taipei, Taichung, or Hsinchu,
The main cities. Yeah.
and you want to buy a house with your salary, and you got to be working at a TSMC or something
In
like
the semiconductor business. Yeah.
Otherwise, you can just count. You can just make the math. We'll talk. It's impossible for you to pay the down payment.
But on the topic of owning a house, homeownership, you recently bought a place of your own.
I do own a house.
Yeah. Was that always something that was a big, like, you wanted to do, was important for you? And was it a challenging
buying
road?
a house?
Yeah.
Oh, first of all, I have to say, I am the person who got help with both sides of my family. Just the down payment is divided by three parts. Me and my wife, we pay one part, and the other two family, because I think both our parents want us to have kids. That it's like a down payment for the grandchildren.
Well said. Down payment for grandchildren.
Yeah. And for me, when I do the down payment, I'm like show hand of all my saving. I think own a house is very important.
You think it's important?
I think it's important.
It's like having that sense of a home
Or
and
security.
like somewhere to have you raise your family. Is that why is it important for you?
Lots of people are saying about owning a house because you have a sense of safe inside you. But we normally don't talk about, if you are a tenant, you have to face a lot of disruption of your life. Like your life is actually controlled by someone else. And every time when the price went up, the landlords, they don't have to worry a thing because they can just transfer that onto the tenants. I think it's getting worse and worse because the cost of houses, the price is getting higher and higher. People are getting 麻木了, numb.
They're getting numb.
Oh,
They're getting
numb
numb.
to
They're
it.
getting numb. They will say, oh, the price went up. Okay. We are stop fighting for it. We are already
They're
stopped
just
fighting for it.
accepting that it's going to happen.
Yeah. So one of my friend who got actually really kind of kicked out from the place she rent for, I think, almost 10 years.
Oh no.
The reason is her landlord passed away. And there's a new career is called 房屋代管. That means that there's a company says, hey, house owners, you don't have to deal with your tenants. Let our company to do that for you. And her landlord passed away, so the house become like her son's, and her son doesn't want to do with this. And the landlord, the lady, was pretty kind to my friends. They sent each other present gift on special days, and so she didn't raise up the price very much, especially during the pandemic. She even cut down the rent.
Oh, that's very understanding.
Yeah. Some landlords are still good. I'm not saying every landlord are like devil. But when it comes to 房屋代管, become a house company, the guy who call her say, hey, the house is going to like 30%. The rent is going to high like 30%, 40%
increase. Yeah. Wow,
that's a very high increase.
Huge.
That's huge because everything's went up, and her I think maybe because she has this low rent for a very long period of time. But before the company taking over, she and her landlord, they are like people to people, and now is people are dealing with
like a business
code machine, and she can tell that the person who call her maybe it's just a part-time job or something, work for the company. He didn't even care.
So they're gonna just want to make the most money out of it, really, as opposed to caring about that human to human connection.
Yeah, that's right. So as a tenant, we are constantly living the uncertainty and fear. We live in there. We don't want to invest too much money because we could get kicked out in any time. So as a tenant, there's so many disadvantages. We don't have to come to owning a house give you a sense of security. We just when you are a tenant, you have to face a lot of challenges.
Yeah, and then investing that time in making it your own space, you can make it really nice. You know, it's your place.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get there one day.
Yeah. And on the topic of this home ownership, it might not be as appealing of a choice as it used to be. So we now want to listen to this Wen Haixu. He's a research fellow at the Institute of Economics at Academia Sinica. He had a good point to make on this.
So right now, in Taipei and Hsinchu, some places that the young people, they buy very expensive very expensive housing. So they suffer from the 40% of the income put into housing mortgage just to pay the mortgage, right? So that is one kind of life that you can have, right? 40% of your income is dumped into housing for, I'm not sure what, right? But then on the other hand, it's like you just rent. If you rent, it's about 20% of your income. So you have 20% more you can spend on travel and so on and so forth. So people might have given too much weight to have the housing ownership, I would have to say. And I think the young people, they know about that too.
So he's coming at it from kind of a different perspective, kind of a different opinion to yourself. You went with the mortgage choice.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on what he had to say?
I think there are two kind of people who is more suitable for mortgage, and the other people who maybe they're more suitable for spending all their money on traveling and experience the world. Putting your 40% of income to mortgage a house, I think it's still a privilege for a few people. It's not going to happen for most of the people. Just ask your friends, especially young people, how much they earn, and maybe just ask them, so what's the 50% of your income? Is that able to pay off your mortgage? I really doubt it. Me and my wife, we don't think we are able to buy a house. We think we just need to rent a house, a bigger, because we used to have this like a studio, just one big space for both of us. But our daughter is coming up, so we need a bigger house. So we start looking, and we come to a conclusion is the house that is going to fit both of us, and a little baby bed, and it costs so expensive that if we have a mortgage, it's almost the same.
Oh, you mean renting compared to the mortgage?
Yeah, the only thing we have to figure out is the down payment, and so that's both sides of our family.
Yeah, I think it does it makes sense to be, if that's the case, to you're then at least paying into something that'll eventually become yours fully, as opposed to just giving your money to someone else every single month.
That's right. And there are actually two person paying the mortgage. If a young people is going to pay the mortgage on their own, I think it's going to be very tough. They are like sacrifice their life. They are going to live in a very minimum quality of life. No more movies, no more snack with friends, no more beer.
No more leisure time, leisure budget.
I guess as well, there's another aspect, is if you have children and you want to as well, make sure that they also have a home where you can all live together later down the line. There's another big difference compared to the UK and Taiwan. After uni, it's very common that you then move out, and you don't live at home during university. And then university. And then after you graduate, you also move out. Maybe for a little brief period, you'd live with your family. I think more and more so, because London's getting so expensive. But people move out pretty soon. That's something I've noticed. I know in Taipei, at least, people do stay
with family.
Yeah, if their families live in Taipei, and then I guess they can save money that way as well.
I'm curious, if you're a student who just graduated, how much is the rent per month usually?
In London?
Yeah, in London.
Well, it depends, but I think in a shared apartment, roughly from what I've heard from my friends, in a shared apartment, you're looking at least paying £1,000.
That's 40,
which is about 40,000. 40,000.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, but that's a rough ballpark, I'd say, of what there's people that I know that pay more than that, and maybe you could also find that's less, but you just have to move a little further out. Less convenient areas, but I think they're also becoming like hubs of their own. So I think because there'll be a lot of young people maybe congregating to these specific areas. So I think it also has a certain vibe to it. So it's not a super bad thing, but yeah, you do have to usually commute a while into your work. And we also get taxed minimum like 20% from your salary.
Is the cost very high during the leisure time? I mean,
going out to eat and stuff. Definitely, I would not be able to eat out as much as I do here.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we were chatting about this the other day. That's what I'm going to miss the most about Taiwan. You can go out and eat a lot more often. And I think if you're in London, you'd go, but a lot less. I think people cook a lot more at home.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we also don't have that kind of like family businesses, like small kind of stalls or carts, more of that like food cart. We don't really have that aspect in London. So Nien-Zu, you have 2 young children. Yeah, 2 daughters. But on this topic of like, living costs and having a family, was that a concern for you? The factor of like cost, how much it's gonna cost me to raise kids in Taipei? Was that a concern for you?
No, actually not.
No.
No, because me and my wife, we think there will be a rich way to raise kids, and you can also raise your kids with a much more economical way. We are not rich, but I think we don't really need to tighten up too much and sacrifice too much with our kids, because kids, they just need the company of their parents. And
love.
Love. And we go to the new shopping mall several times. We just walk around. We don't have to buy anything. I think people are maybe imagining too many disadvantages of having kids. We just don't have enough information.
But Taiwan is suffering with low birth rate, aging population.
That's right.
What about for your friends, Phoebe, or people around you? Do you think having the factor of the costs of having kids is a big concern?
I often hear people say, I cannot afford having kids, because I think by cannot afford means that raising a kid might take their time away, take their money away. So it's not just about money. I think it's more than cost of living. It's the quality of living.
Yeah.
The quality.
Yeah.
So that's my concern. And friends at my age, some already have 2 kids. So I'm like, wow, good for you. Like, good luck. Like I myself, I just don't have that courage. Or maybe I'm not ready yet. Or I just, having kids, having a house, both are not on my, I'm not prioritize these 2.
I think maybe Taiwanese people, we are starting very late. We spend too much time in schools. So after school, we are already very old, and we need some more time to discover ourselves and try out all the careers. So it really take a lot of time before we decide to settle down and go into the marriage and having kids.
I think there's definitely also a change in mindset of younger generations compared to older generations. Like the clips that we had earlier from the market about how, the young person wanting to just not bother about saving and just enjoy their life because, anything more is kind of unrealistic.
Yeah. I wonder, would you think younger generations nowadays, are they the kind of people that we say 吃苦耐劳, so they can take the hardship and don't complain, just work super, super hard?
No.
Straight.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah. I think the split point happens 30 years ago when we have this big educational revolution that we call happened 30 years ago. So the generation to come, they have a different mindset from the people like our parents or even me. During that time, we were educated. If you want to live happily, you have to work very hard. But 30 years ago, the education revolution kind of want to change that. I think they are coming up with a very good intention purpose because we are Taiwanese people and we want every Taiwanese live in a happy environment. So we constantly tell the children, so, hey, you are living Taiwan, you are Taiwanese, we are proud, you are born to have this privilege, you are born to have this with these rights, and everybody will provide for you.
On the topics of kids, you said that the cost wasn't really a concern. But what about when it comes to the childcare side of it? Is your partner also working? Who's looking after the kids? Because I know that can be a concern.
My partner is working. She's the main income
breadwinner
provider in our family, and I'm taking care of my kids because I'm more flexible. And yeah, I was thinking maybe it would cost a lot, but actually it's not. If you are talking about money, it doesn't really cost that much. It costs a lot of time, but money not that much.
But maybe if you don't, because you have the flexibility of the job. So if there's two parents that do work full time, I think that's maybe when it comes quite a challenge of how to make this happen.
That's right. But in Taipei, I think because we have this subsidy from the government, and me and my wife just 2 months ago, we have this conversation. We are doing math of how much tuition we pay. And after the subsidy, the whole semester cost us maybe under 5,000 Taiwan dollars. It's almost nothing. Yeah.
What about, let's play devil's advocate, what about if you had to be in office 10 till 7? What about then? Who would look after the kids?
I'm not going to have kids.
There we go.
But I think it's like an exchange because we talked about it. Do I do office work and making money and give the money to nannies and babysitters, or maybe I can just do that myself so my kids, they can know me better. And the grandparents, they can have time because I always drive them around. So they can have time with...
The grandparents can look after the kids. Yeah. I think that's just something that's really common in Asia for sure.
Awesome.
In the UK, less so.
You mean grandparents won't offer, hey, I can take care of your baby and then you can keep going.
If they live nearby, because I think it's more common that families live together here. Whereas in the UK, everyone usually lives separately. Okay, and so before we go, I've got a few questions. So Taiwan is very famous for its bubble tea. Okay, so and I've taken the price of a milk bubble tea from Wushilan, which is like a pretty well-known chain store here. Okay, so can you guess now in 2025 how much a large cup of a milk bubble tea cost?
Yeah, you can go
I
first.
say 50.
Let's do quick fire. Okay, I want it to be fast.
50.
You're wrong.
You know?
I think maybe it's around 75 or 85 something.
Oh, okay, so you went more expensive. Okay, so no, I can say it's 55.
Is that your
55?
willingness to pay?
No.
I do think Wushilan is slightly on the cheaper end.
Yeah.
Is that correct to say? I've definitely paid more for a bubble tea.
Yeah, I used to have bubble teas for $25.
Yes, well, this has come to the comparison. So how much did it cost in 2009 for a large milk bubble tea?
35.
I say 30.
40. What about a medium-sized?
Large 40, then medium, I say 30.
Yeah,
30.
I said 30.
25.
25.
So you could...
Wushilan is just cheaper. Thank
in
you.
2009, you could get a bubble tea for 25. Okay, now when it comes to public transport, okay, so a full price for a bus ticket now is like 15 NTD.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about in 1973? We're going way back now.
That's ages ago.
1973.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you born?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, so some time that both of us don't know, but let's guess 50 years ago. 2?
What, 1.5.
1.5. Okay, you got it.
And in 1990,
1990.
so like 25 years ago.
1990, that was when I was 11 years old.
Before I was born. You go first.
I think it's $10, $15.
I say
$7.
8.
12.
12. Yeah.
So that is over the last 25 years. That is a cost that hasn't really changed. I think the government has
the transportation.
Yeah, that's something that has been pretty steady. Okay, and last question: average starting salary for graduate students. So in 2016, it was 28,000, around 28,000 NTD per month. Can we have a guess how much it was for 2024?
28,000 during 2016?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I think it's lower.
I think it's a lot lower.
Yeah.
The average.
Average.
Oh, average. Okay.
I still don't think so. But if you if the comparison is 10 years ago to 28,000, I don't think it will change much. I'll go 29,000.
28,500.
So it's more than you'd think. Just under 34,000.
34?
Yeah. But I do have another fun statistic.
Where is this information come from?
Government numbers.
Of course, from the government. Of course.
But to be fair, in 2000, it was around 28,000K. So from 2000 to 2016, there was barely any difference.
That information has come from the government website, right?
Yep. Well, that is all we have time for today.
Okay.
Nien-Zu, thank you so much for being on the podcast with us today.
Thank you,
so
Nien-Zu,
much. Thank you.
Is buying a house still an important milestone for you? What about having kids? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to check out our main show, Connected on TaiwanPlus, on YouTube and the TaiwanPlus website. I'm Izzy Wells.
I'm Phoebe Zheng.
And thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.